The evaluation of by third parties is an important activity with regard to relationships with third parties, particularly customers and suppliers. It is generally compulsory, so that organizations can obtain a quality certification. This module aims at recording and monitoring the evolution of the degree of satisfaction of our organization in relation to third parties, for instance, suppliers, and the degree of satisfaction of third parties, for instance, customers, in relation to our organization. Establishing an information base that helps us improve our level of acceptance in relation to third parties and choose who can best help our organization pursue its objectives. The evaluation of by third parties must integrate with the objectives of the organization. Let's consider the base menu of this module. This is the base menu of the module Evaluation of by third parties. Evaluations are arranged into processes, which in turn are divided into sub-processes. To each sub-process are associated type evaluations, that is, questionnaires. Users can create questionnaires according to their needs. Evaluations are taken on the table of evaluations, where is the final grade or score of the questionnaires. We can jump to evaluation items and view the grades assigned to each item by every third party or attributions to each third party. There is a set of indexes for evaluations of by third parties. There is, for instance, the analysis of quotas, grades per third party, grades per evaluator, goals per third party, and multiple answers per third party. Let's see in more detail the definition of processes, sub-processes, and questionnaires. To create an evaluation process, it's necessary to define a type, usually PAD, evaluation process, a code to identify the process, a designation, a party responsible for the process, if applicable, a time period, a rating scale, and the start and end dates of the process. We can always introduce some additional description and remarks. Defined the process, we must indicate the sub-process it consists of. Let's consider, in this example, the evaluation of a company by third parties, in this case, clients. The sub-process is only one, consulting, and concerns the assessment made by the clients of a company regarding its consulting services. This sub-process uses a questionnaire. Questionnaires are defined in the table Types of Evaluation Questionnaires. The user is free to create questionnaires according to each intended purpose. Let's then check the items that compose the questionnaire on the consulting evaluation. There are many items. The first item refers to the ability to listen and understand people's needs. The second item has to do with the commitment to meeting requests. And the third one refers to the spirit of cooperation and friendliness, and so forth. Let's then view an item in order to see the information it presents. There are, therefore, the type of questionnaire, the type of item, which is a free coding, the class, in which case an item for the calculation of the average grade, if it is a goal, if it is an item of multiple answers, a description, a weight, a minimum value and a maximum value according to the rating scale, an explanatory note, and also a field for remarks. Whenever we define a sub-process, we associate its respective questionnaire with it. Taking the process on consulting as example, let's see which fields are needed to define the sub-process. There is the process and code that identify the sub-process, the questionnaire, which we have just seen briefly, a designation, the rating scale, a party responsible for the sub-process, a time period, and the respective start and end dates. Having inserted the questionnaires to all 30 parties to be evaluated, it remains to record the evaluations and answers given by them concerning each item of the questionnaires, while the application gets in charge of calculating the grades until reaching the final ratified grades. Let's look into some details about the treatment of evaluations and the answers concerning the questionnaire items. In the tables of evaluations are inserted the 30 parties that will be evaluated within each sub-process. For example, within the consulting sub-process is a 30-party semáforo, and the respective contact that made the evaluation. Another 30-party, in this case Granimar, and its respective evaluator. The same 30-party, but with another evaluator. And here is another evaluation made by the customer Granidel. Inserted the 30 parties that have evaluated us, there is the command generate items that provides a questionnaire where the respective grade shall be placed. Let's then enter evaluation items. There is a questionnaire, item by item, the grade assigned by the evaluator, and the system calculates the final grade according to the weights of each item. As an immediate result of evaluations, we obtain the respective grades for each third party. Let's check the list of final grades. The evaluation tables may have multiple contacts to answer the questionnaires. In the table of final ratified grades is the final grade per client. Therefore, we can see their clients who have taken the evaluation and their respective grades. In addition to the results linked to each third party, overall results are also available, including the ones on the classification quotas, if applicable, and statistics in general. By using the option Distribution of Grades Quotas, it is possible to view the distribution of third parties according to the rating scale. If there is a quota for a given grade, the system informs us how many third parties are within that grade and the corresponding deviation. Under the option Grades per third party, let's analyze this in more detail and filter data for the period of 2010. By clicking on the OK button, we quickly visualize the global average of the consultancy questionnaire, the number of clients who answered the questionnaire, and the total number of items associated to it. However, we can do the analysis in greater detail. We can go to the criteria screen and, on the panel of aggregations, type the plus sign on the item box. By clicking on OK, we see the average obtained item by item, and therefore we see that there are strengths of the company and what are the points that need to be improved. We can go back to the criteria screen and change the aggregations. Let's regroup the data by item and specify them by third party. We get the average grades per third party and the number of contacts who have answered within each third party. And there onwards. There is a set of aggregations used to detail the information by typing the plus sign on the boxes. There are the same statistics in the case of goals per third party and multiple answers per third party. We have presented in this video the module Evaluation of by Third Parties, along with the necessary details for a first assessment on the interest of your organization. Nevertheless, this dialogue can be deepened for us to better analyze your needs and the answers to them. We and the network of partners we integrate are fully prepared to listen to and support you.